The CCI Filter Levels Oscillator, which is available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on your chart. Additionally, traders can read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file and run the indicator by dragging the file onto the chart. Once the indicator is applied to the chart, an oscillator window appears at the bottom of the chart. The CCI Filter Levels Indicator is an advanced and developed version of the CCI indicator, which displays the same CCI line as the main line and allows us to set two trigger levels for it with different colors. These are for the positive and negative zones, so that when entering these zones, they are marked for us with different colors. Here, I have carefully set the CCI levels. Specifically, I've established one significant level at positive 100, another crucial level at negative 100, and a final important level at 0. When the CCI values are positive and go above the trigger level, they are displayed in green. When the CCI values are negative and fall below the negative trigger level, they are marked in red. And when the CCI values are observed to be between 0 and the positive trigger level, they are clearly shown in a vibrant aqua blue hue. Conversely, when the CCI values are found to be negative and positioned between 0 and the negative trigger level, or even extending to minus 100, they are distinctly displayed in a bright yellow color. And finally, when the price action and the accompanying oscillator line demonstrate a pronounced and rapid movement, making a very sharp and decisive move into either the distinctly negative zone or the clearly positive zone, this significant event then serves to automatically mark these specific candles in a distinct gray color for our immediate visual identification and analysis. Additionally, the indicator generates buy and sell signals, which are displayed as green dots for buy signals and red dots for sell signals. When the oscillator line enters the positive level and positive trigger, a buy signal is generated, and when it exits, a sell signal is given. Also, when the oscillator line is in the negative zone and negative trigger, entering it generates a sell signal and exiting it generates a buy signal for us. In the Settings section, under the Input tab, there are options available for us. In the first input, we can specify the calculation period for the CCI, which is set to 50 by default. In the next input, we can determine the price calculation type, choosing from options such as close price, open price, high price, low price, median price, typical price, and finally, weighted price, all of which are available here. In the next two inputs, we can specify the positive trigger level and the negative trigger level in this section, which by default are set to positive 100 and negative 100. In the next available option, we can precisely specify the critical level, which is thoughtfully considered the critical zone, and we can easily set its numerical value here. When this particular value or its exact negative counterpart is reached, a significant warning will be promptly issued for us. By default, it is currently set to precisely 250. In the next input, we can set whether the oscillator lines are displayed as a histogram. By enabling this option, the oscillator will be shown to us in the form of a histogram. In the next section, we can enable or disable the alert notification. If this option is set to false, the other options will not be functional. But if this option is set to true, in the next input, we can enable the alert notification when the oscillator reaches the critical level. In the next input, we can set it so that when the oscillator line moves above the 0 level, an alert is triggered for us, and we can enable or disable this status. When the oscillator line moves downward past the 0 level, we can set an alert for this situation as well, and by selecting this option, we can enable or disable it. And in the next section, we can set it so that when the oscillator line enters the positive trigger level, an alert is triggered for us, along with a signal, which is considered a buy signal. When the oscillator line exits the positive trigger level, a signal is generated for us along with an alert, and we can enable or disable this status. In the next section, we can also specify the status for the lower trigger level, so that when it exits the lower trigger level, an alert is issued for us as a buy signal. And finally, in the last input, we can set it so that when the oscillator line enters the negative trigger level, an alert is issued for us as a sell signal, and we can enable or disable these statuses. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. I'd be glad if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.